Opponent. In your own opinion, was it irregular for you to take a confession on a person that you have not satisfied yourself that he has been touched?
Nee.
No. Kwangekho ke okungekho noma ungahambi kahle ukuthi ngithathe noma ke i-confession lena kumuntu engingamazi ke noma sethweswa amacala noma cha noma ubotshiwe noma cha.
And it is your evidence that you have explained the constitutional right of the deponent. Is that so?
Nou wat se konstitusionele reg het jy verwys?
Which constitutional right are you referring to?
Okay, a right to remain silent. E.g., a right to remain silent. A right not to self-incriminate.
That is correct.
Sorry?
Ek het vir hom gesê dat hy nie, as ek net na my dokument kan verwys,
If I can
net
just
so oomblik gee.
just give me a moment just to refer to my document.
Dis korrek, bladsy 4, paragraaf 6.
That's correct. Page 4, paragraph 6.
Kan ek hom lees?
Can I read it?
I'll tell you to read. Just a moment, ma'am. Just a second, I'm trying to peruse that paragraph. All right. Can you please read it?
Paragraaf 6. En ek hul aan. I informed the deponent that he has the right to remain silent and that nobody can force him to make a statement, and that if he chooses to make a statement, nobody can force him to divulge any self-incriminating evidence or information rather. And his answer was, I understood.
Lana ke kubhalwe ukuthi ngase ngimtshela ke ukuthi unelungelo lokuthi angathula angasho lutho nokuthi akekho umuntu ongamphoqa ukuthi enze istatement nokuthi uma kuukuthi ukhetha ukwenza istatement leso akekho umuntu ongamphoqa ukuthi ke asho noma yini engamhlanganisa naye ke necala ke noma ukwenziwa ke kobulelesi nga impendulo yakhe yathi ngiyezwa.
Ek het voortgegaan in dieselfde paragraaf en vir hom gevra en ek hul aan, do you wish to remain silent or do you wish to continue to make a statement? En sy antwoord was, I want to continue to make a statement.
I then proceed, and then the next question is the one where it says, do you wish to remain, oh sorry, it's in English. Uyafisa yini noma uyafuna yini ukuthula ungasho lutho noma ufisa ukuqhubeka ukuthi wenze istatement? Impendulo yakhe yase ithi ke ngiyafuna ngokuqhubeka ngokwenza istatement.
So, may I approach my colleague?
Yes,
my
yes,
lord?
yes.
So. My question is, when you explained that right, you explained the right that is provided by Section 35 of the Constitution. Is that correct?
Dis korrek.
That is correct. Yebo kuyiqiniso ke uma bengichaza lokho okubhaliwe ke noma okhona kuye ke uSection 35.
Can you please read Section 35, especially, Section 35(1). Or, sorry, let me just be specific. Can you please read Section 35 in conjunction with the rights that you have explained, that you have already given to the court? That are the rights that you explained to the court.
Moet ek die hele section 35 lees?
Nee. Just the right, Section 35, and specifically to the provision that relates to remain silent.
Artikel 35 sub 1A Na aanleiding van die boekie wat nou in my oorhandig is van die Konstitusie, lees as volg in Engels, en ek haal aan: Everyone who is arrested for allegedly committing an offence has the right to remain silent. Dit is in subartikel A.
That's in subsection A. The witness says he's quoting from the booklet that has just been provided to her.
Moet ek
Everyone,
voortgaan?
Should I proceed?
just a second, ma'am. I'll tell you to proceed. And the other one that relates to self-incrimination.
Artikel 35(1) subartikel B gaan voort en bepaal die volgende. En ek haal aan: to be informed promptly, Roman 1, of the right to remain silent, and 2, of the consequence of not remaining silent.
Thank you.
Lana ke ikhuluma ke ukuthi ke ilungelo ke lokuthi ungasho lutho nokuthi futhi imiphumela yokuthi noma ke ukhulumeke ukuthi ingaba yini uyena ke lowo usection 35.
Was it not important to inform him that he is still presumed innocent until proven guilty? Was it not necessary to?
Ek sien nie die nodigheid en het nie die nodigheid gesien hoekom dit in 'n bekentenis pertinent aan hom genoem moet word nie.
I don't see.
Hy is
Sorry. May I proceed? Yes. I don't see, or it didn't see the necessity or the need in a confession to say or to mention that to him. Ja, kan maar voortgaan.
Hy was verteenwoordig gewees deur 'n regsverteenwoordiger ook.
He was also represented by a legal representative. Ukuthi ke ngimtshele ke ukuthi umuntu ke kufanele futhi ke noma ke umuntu ngimtshele lokho angisibonanga isidingo ngoba ke ebenommeli aye naye ngalelo langa owayekhona futhi lapho.
Dis 'n beginsel van ons reg dat alle persone beskou word as onskuldig totdat hulle in 'n strafhof bo redelike twyfel as skuldig bevind word.
It is a principle of our law that each and every person be presumed to be innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. Kuwumthetho ke okhona lana ke eNingizimu Afrika ukuthi ke nawubani ke ovela enkantolo ukuthi loyo muntu ke uthathwa njengomuntu ongenacala kuze kufike ifinyeleleke kwisigaba la khona ke kuthiwa ke uselahliwe amacala.
En het ek in lig daarvan dat dit nie 'n verhoor was, nie nodig geag om hom as sodanig in te lig.
And then as a result of me then considering that not to be a trial, then did not see the need to inform him as such. Ngenxa yokuthi ke kwakungaqulwa cala ke ngaleli langa angizange ke ngisibone isidingo sokuthi ngimtshele lokho ke ukuthi cha bona ke manje njengoba ulapha phambi kwami ke umsulu wake kuze kube yisikhathi ke noma isigaba la khona ke inkantolo isithi ke wena ulahliwe amacala.
Hy is op geen stadium van die verrigtinge ten opsigte van die bepaling of hy voor my is vir hierdie bekentenis vrywillig, ongedwonge, sober en nugter by sy volle positiewe en verstand hanteer as 'n persoon wat skuldig is wat sy onskuld moet bewys nie.
At no stage whilst he was then before me and as he was that informed that he would be doing this freely, voluntarily, that he was in his sound and his sober senses. At no he was at no stage at that time then considered by myself as someone who had to prove his guilt to me.
May I just put it to you as a person who has a legal expertise that you were under a legal duty or obligation to explain the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, because the effect of taking a confession does not conclude his conviction.
Ek
What
neem
is your
kennis van die
comment?
opinie.
I take note of the opinion.
Thank you. Let's proceed. Can you please assist me to read a provision relating to 48 hours? I think it's 35.3 if I'm not mistaken.
In artikel 35 subartikel 1 D Romeinse 1 to be brought before court as soon as reasonable possible but not later than the 48 hours after the arrest, unquote.
Lana ke sichazwa ke noma ufunda lana ke ingxenye la ekhuluma khona ke ngesikhathi umuntu akufanele ke ayovela ngaso enkantolo ngaphambi emuva kokuthi eboshiwe.
The deponent or the accused, Mr. Ntanzi, was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 and brought to you on the 24th of June 22. I'm talking about 8 days from the date of arrest. Do you know that?
Ek het dit ook opgemerk.
I also noted it or marked it as such. Nami ke ngaqaphela ke ngaleyo ndlela ukuthi kwakusemuva kwamalanga u8 aboshwa ke nkathi elethwa phambi kwami.
And when he was brought to you, that's my instruction. When he was brought to you to take a confession, he was not taken to court. He never appeared in court within 48 hours.
Ek raak geen kennis of hy verskyn het of nie. Dit is nie binne my kennisveld gewees op daai stadium nie.
I have no knowledge as to whether he did go to court or not. It was not within my knowledge at that particular time. Ukuthi wayeyileke enkantolo noma akayanga ke phambi kwemantshi angikwazi ke lokho akusiyona into engangiyazi ngaleso sikhathi leso.
In the normal course, when you are presiding as a magistrate, when an accused is brought after 48 hours, what normally happens in court for the benefit of the public? If a person is brought after 48 hours has lapsed, what normally happens? What is your decision as a magistrate?
Normaalweg persoonlik as landros in 'n strafhof hou ek 'n artikel 342A ondersoek en verwyder die saak van die rol as die omstandighede dit noodsaak.
342A. Under normal circumstances, and I would then hold a section 342A inquiry, and if need be, I would then strike the case from the court roll. Uma ke kuyisidingo noma uma umuntu elethwa ke phambi kwenkantolo emuva kwamahora awu48 ngizothi ke ngenzeke noma ngifiseke ukuthi ngazi noma ke ngenze lokho akubiza ngokuthi inquiry ke yakhe u section 342A uma kunesidingo ke lelo cala lelo ke ngilisuseke kuhlalo amacala enkantolo.
Thank you. My instruction is that Mr. Ntanzi was taken to court. First appearance of Mr. Ntanzi was on the 27th of October 2020.
Ek dra geen kennis daarvan nie.
I have no knowledge of that. Ukuthi ke waqala ukuya ngqa enkantolo ngezi 27 October 2020 angikwazi lokho.
The question, as per the previous question, as per the previous answer you gave, if Mr. Ntanzi was brought before you as a magistrate on the 27th of October, if he was arrested on the 16th of June, you would strike the matter of the roll. Is that correct?
Ek sal eers 'n ondersoek doen in terme van artikel 342A, aangesien ek geen sake kan verwyder van die rol sonder sodanige ondersoek nie.
I would first have held the inquiry, the section 342A inquiry. I cannot just remove a case or strike a case off the roll without such an inquiry. Uma kuukuthi ke wayevela phambi kwami ngazo lezo 27 ka October 2020 kube yena ke waboshwa ziu16 June 2020 bengeke nje ngibese icala ngilisuleke kodwa bengizoqala ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi kwakungani.
from the version of the accused to say his first appearance was on the 27th of October 2020, and he was arrested on the 16th. According to this version, it was not a reasonable time for him to be brought to court. Do you agree?
Ek het nie al die feite.
Yes, my lord. I think it's wrong for my learned friend to put a question that is not correct to the witness. He's in possession of proceedings in other cases, and unless he specifies his question, that question that is put into the witness is not correct.
For clarity, I'm referring to this specific case. I'm referring to this matter.
Advokaat, ek kan net gaan op die woord van u kliënt toe hy gesê het hy is op die 16de gearresteer.
Advocate, I can only take or go based on your client's word or what the client told me that he was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. Mina ke ngingathatha nje kuphela lokho engakutshelwa ke ulo omele ukuthi waboshwa nge-16th ka June 2020.
Ek kan nie sê of hy op hierdie saak gearresteer was of op 'n ander saak nie. Ek weet nie wanneer hy verskyn het op wat nie en ek weet ook nie wanneer hy verskyn het op hierdie saak nie.
And I cannot tell as to whether he was arrested on that date on this particular matter or on another matter, and I cannot say when he did not appear or which matter.
I'll leave that for argument, ma'am. Let's just proceed on something else. May I proceed to ask the following question? This is the pro forma. This is the statement. These are attachments. I'm referring to the copies of the IDs of the officers. Does that all this constitute a confession?
Die verklaring ten opsigte van die konfessie self is aangeheg met die voorvereistes om te kom tot daai verklaring is ook aangeheg.
Okay. The statement is also the statement is attached together with the requirements to get to that particular statement. Istatement lesi kanye nalokho okufunekayo noma okudingekayo ukuthi uyofika kusona ke istatement kuhlanganisiwe.
Die verklaring sluit met ander woorde my bevinding in na aanleiding van die vrae wat gevra is, die antwoorde wat gegee is.
Now that then includes, that is now my finding with regards to the questions that I posed as well as the answers that were given. Lokho kokufaka phakathi ke imibuzo engayibuza kanye futhi neimpendulo engayithola nesinqumo engafinyelela kusona.
My question will be,
Dit vorm saam 'n deel van die verklaring in terme van artikel 217.
It then forms part of the statement in terms of section 217. Kube kusuba yingxenye ke yasoke istatement lesike istatement esenzwe phansi kwakhe ke usection 217.
Maar die bekentenis self ten opsigte van wat die deposant vir my gesê het ten opsigte van die misdaad is net ten opsigte van aanhangsel A.
But then the statement with regards to what it is that the deponent informed me with regards to the commission of the offense itself is then annexure A. Kuse kuthi ke sona ke istatement lesi la khona ke engichazela kona ke ukuthi yini impela eyenzeka mayelake necala leli bona ke bese kuba uannexure A.
Die bekentenis self is dis 'n annexure A, maar die hele dokument sluit die verrigtinge in totaliteit in.
The confession itself is annexure A, but the entire document is contains the proceedings as a whole. bese kuthi yona ke i-confession lena noma i-statement lesawasenza ke kuba u-annexure A kodwa ke uma usuwahlanganisa ewonke ke kufaka konke okwenzeka ngaleli yalanga.
Okay. So I just want clarity. Annexure A consists of 6 pages, 1 to 6. Is that so?
Dis korrek.
That is correct. U-annexure A ke ama-page awu-6 u-1 yofika ku-6.
From that statement, that is the statement of the confessor or the deponent. Is that correct?
Dis korrek.
That is correct. Futhi lesa statement ke statement salona ke owayekhuluma kumina engitshela.
For the benefit of the public, was it supposed to be commissioned, signed and commissioned before a commission of oath?
Nee.
No. Kwangafaneleke ukuthi sibe siyasayindwa ke sisiwe ke kumuntu obizwa ngokuthi commissioner ke ozobeka ke istem.
Was the statement signed?
Ja.
Yes, yebo statement esasayindwa.
All right. May I approach my colleague?
Yes, yes.
My lord. Are you in possession of the statement?
Yeah,
Dis korrek.
that is correct.
Can we go to the last page, I think page 6 of the statement? Page 6 of the statement. Are you there?
Dis korrek.
That is correct.
Do you see the signature of the deponent?
Hy het hier sy initial gemaak. Die volle handtekening verskyn op bladsy 8. Nadat die verrigtinge voltooi is, het ek hom versoek om die volle handtekening te maak op die laaste bladsy wat bladsy 8 was van hierdie en dan het ons almal geteken.
It's only his initials that appear there, but his full signature is on page 8. That's when everything was now completed, when I requested him to sign, and we all signed. Ukuthi ke asayindeke akasayindanga lapha kule page 6 wabeka njena ke ama-initials akhe kwase kuthi ke upage 8 page lokugcina ke ila khona ke singamcela ukuthi asayinde uma seqedwe konke nathi ke sase siyasayinda.
All right. From page 1, if I may ask you to peruse it. Peruse from page 1 up to page 5. Do you see any signature of the deponent?
Nee, net sy paraat.
No, it's only his initials. Akasayindanga ku page 1 yofika ku page 5 ukuthi nje ubeka nje ama-initials akhe.
My instruction is that he has never or did not attach any initials and he did not sign any statement, especially in front of you.
Dis 'n infame leuen.
That is a lie. Amanga nje lawo ukuthi nje akakazi asayindeke phambi kwami noma ke abekeke ama-initials akhe.
Sorry, I'm not interfering with your interpretation. Say, sir, that is infame leuen.
Dis korrek.
Can you just say it in English?
Infama. See?
It's an absolute lie.
It's a notorious lie.
Yes.
You said he signed on page 8.
Dis korrek.
That is correct.
Page 8 is a pro forma.
Dis korrek.
That is correct.
It's not a statement.
Dis korrek.
That is correct. Kuyiqiniswa ukuthi ngithe usayine ku page 8 nokuthi ke kuyi-performa ke akusona i-statement.
A statement is separate from a pro forma. A pro forma is to insulate an inquiry before making a statement. Is that so?
U kan dit seker so interpreteer.
Maybe you can interpret it as such. Mhlawumbe-ke ungakubeka kanjalo-ke ukuthi iform lena-ke yona-ke ihlukile kusona istatement
U moet net
awasenze.
onthou dat wanneer ons die bekentenis afneem, die proses ineenloop.
You just have to remember that when we take down a confession that this process is a continuous process.
So ons hanteer die, of ek het die formaliteitsvereistes eerstes hanteer, en toe hy die verklaring wou aflê, het ek dit gedoen, en ek het agterna, het ons hierdie dokumente onderteken, nadat hy bevestig het dat alles korrek is,
I first
ten
as-
opsigte van sy verklaring.
I first started with the requirements or with the formalities that is now on the front pages, and then when he wanted to make the statement, I then proceeded with that, and then that is when now the documents had now to be signed.
May I just hand over to you a pro forma that has a statement which has also made with the same intentions of taking a confession. This is just a confession which was taken by somebody else, which I just want to show you that there is a difference between that statement and the statement that I'm going to hand it over to you. With the leave of the court, may I hand it over to her for
Yes.
comparison, my lord.
Mr. Baloyi,
This is a pro forma used by Commission to Office Justice of the Peace. I don't know whether one can really compare the two.
No, wait. You say it's a pro forma?
Of a statement taken down by Justice of the Peace.
Not
a magistrate.
Not a magistrate?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
So we're not comparing apples with apples.
My lord, actually the main thing is I'm not going to the pro forma per se, to the statement in which the signature of the deponent appears in the statement. Do you see that?
Ek neem kennis.
I take note.
So the statement, you see that there's a pro forma and a statement.
Ek sien dit.
I see that. Yabona-ke ukuthi kunefomu-ke yokubiza ukuthi i-proforma kanye ne-statement.
In that statement, there is a thumbprint from each and every page. Do you confirm that? If not all pages, but there's a thumbprint in that
Ek is net
statement.
besig om te kyk as jy maar net die geleentheid sal gun.
Just give me an opportunity, I'm busy checking.
Ek sien die duimafdruk.
I see the thumbprint. Ngiyasibona-ke isithupha lesi esibekiwe.
Do you see the initials at the bottom of the first page of the statement?
Ek sien daar's 'n geskribbel.
I see that it's scribbled there. Ngiyabona-ke khona nje kubhaliwe laphayana.
Daar lyk soos 'n handtekening langs die duimafdruk en dan lyk daar soos 'n of dit 'n O of 'n Q of 'n X is en dan nog so 'n skribbel. So ek kan nie sê of dit 'n handtekening of 'n initial is nie.
I see
en of
that-
dit net 'n maak is nie.
I see that there's something that looks or appears like a signature next to the thumbprint, and then there's something that looks like an O, a Q, or an X, and then there's another scribble. I cannot confirm as to whether that's a signature.
Now let's go to the last page of that statement. What do you see there? Last page. The
Wat se
last,
deel
Which
ekskuus,
part?
Wat se deel verwys u nou na?
Which part are you referring to?
the last page of the statement.
Van die konfessie.
Yeah.
Ja.
What do you see there?
Dieselfde geskribbel.
The same scribble, ngibona nje lo mbhalo ofanayo.
En bo dit verskyn signature of justice of peace.
And then on top of that it appears the signature.
Ekskuus. Onder die geskribbels
Okay.
verskyn dit signature of justice of the peace in die volle name.
Just underneath that scribbling then appears the signature of justice of the peace as well as the full names. Amagama ke alowo ke ukuthiwa uyena ke wayithatha amagama akhe aphelele.
En heel onderaan is daar weer 'n duimafdruk.
And once again right at the bottom there's another thumbprint. Phinde ke ezantsi kube nesithupha
Met 'n ander handtekening.
with another signature.
So there, do you see the signature of the deponent? On the same page.
Nee, want dis net 'n duimafdruk. So ek twyfel sterk dat iemand van die Justice of the Peace of sy kantoor het met 'n duimafdruk gaan teken. So ek kan nie vir u sê wie se handtekening is wie se nie.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's
Of
only
wie se merk is wie se of wie se duimafdruk is hierson.
it's only a thumbprint, and I doubt strongly that a justice of the peace would then just put his thumbprint. So I cannot confirm which signature belong to who here from that which appears here. Ngibona nje isithupha lana futhi ke ngiyangabaza ukuthi ke umuntu okuyena ke owayethatha le statement kungawuyena ke ongabeka isithupha. Ngeke ngisho ukuthi le signature ngibona la ukuthi ekabani.
May I rephrase it? May I rephrase my question? The signature that appears on behalf of the words justice of peace, other than that signature, is there any signature on that page that you see?
Daar is 'n handtekening net bo die thumbprint.
There is
Duimafdruk of ek weet nie wat se vinger hier af vingerafdruk is nie. Duim, voorvinger, middelvinger, ek weet nie.
there's a signature that just above the thumbprint. I cannot say it's the thumbprint, it's the middle finger, or which finger it is, but there is a signature above that.
Normaalweg behoort daar geskryf te wees wat se vingerafdruk daar gevat is.
Normally it should be indicated there as to which particular finger was taken. Kufanele ngenjwayelo ke kuvamise ukuthi ke kubhalwe ke ukuthi imuphi umunwe loyana obekiwe lapha.
Ek vind dit ook onwaarskynlik dat 'n getuie 'n thumbprint sal gee. So ek weet nie of die handtekening by hierdie vingerafdruk dien as 'n getuie tot wie se vingerafdruk gevat is of nie.
I also find it that for me it would be improbable that a witness would put his thumbprint, and now there is a signature next to that thumbprint. I don't know whether that is now to witness as to whose finger that is printed on there. Nokuthi futhi ke ufakazi angathi abesebeka isithupha sakhe ke naloko ke kuyinto engabazisayo, nokuthi futhi kube sekuyasayindwa ke eduze kwaleso sithupha leso ngazi nokuthi lo muntu uyasho noma uchaza ukuthi umunwe kabani lo ya.
So u vra my met alle respek om op hierdie stadium te spekuleer op wie se vingerafdruk is hier en wie se handtekening is hier. Ek neem aan die handtekening wat lyk soos 'n Q en 'n X en daar geskribbel is die Justice of the Peace. Dit is die vrederegter se handtekening bloot op feit dat op die laaste bladsy daai selfde handtekening bo die lyntjie verskyn waaronder getik is Justice of the Peace signature.
And
So,
with all due respect, now you are asking me to speculate with regard to this, and but where there's that scribble, I just assume that one would be now a signature belonging to the Justice of the Peace, because if you look at the last page, just above where it's written signature of Justice of the Peace, that signature is above that. Lana ke umcela nje noma uthi kumina ke angicabangele nje noma ngiqageleke ukuthi ubani obesayinda la ubani obebeka isithupha, kodwa ke la kungathi khona ke kunale mbhalo ongathi u-O u-Q noma u-X, ngicabanga ukuthi yilona ke owayethatha istatement lesi.
So, ma'am, the purpose of this exercise, the reason for giving you that statement is to compare your statement and the statement that is in front of you. That they are different, totally different.
meneer, met alle respek, ek weet nie wat u wil vergelyk en hoe sê u dit is verskillend nie. Hierso het 'n persoon die verklaring onderteken met 'n duimafdruk.
Okay. I don't know what it is that you find to be different and what it is that you want to compare, because here a person made a statement and confirmed that with a thumbprint.
In my verklaring is dit bevestig deur die deposant by wyse van 'n initial.
And in my statement, it was then confirmed by the deponent by means of initialing.
So die
sorry, ma'am.
deposante in hierdie geval het verskillende maniere gebruik om die verklaring te onderteken, of dit nou 'n merk is, 'n handtekening is of 'n duimafdruk is.
Now, in these two different statements, the deponents made use of different means to confirm their statements, whether it's by a mark, by a signature, or by a thumbprint.
Ma'am, sorry, please, can I afford me to ask a question? This is your statement. This is the statement that was made in front of you. This one.
Dis korrek.
Dat is
Dit is
korrek.
bladsy
Says,
15. Dit is met ander woorde 6 van 6 heel onder. Jy sal sien heel bo by my dokumente het ek dit basies so gemerk.
You'll just see right at the top in my documents, that's how I marked them. That is now, that would be page 6.
Yes,
Page 6
Bladsy 6
again.
of 6.
that's correct.
6
Ja.
of 6.
That's why I'm saying there's no signature of the deponent. Do
Nee,
you
maar daar's
agree?
nog steeds 'n initial hier. So of hy nou sy thumbprint daar gesit het, vol geteken het, 'n kruisie gemaak het, sy neusafdruk gesit het, hy het dit onderteken.
But now there is an initial here. Whether he initialed, he put a cross, a thumbprint, or his nose print, but he did put something there. Lana ke ukuthi ke akasayindile, kodwa ke ubekile ke ama initials wakhe, noma ke bekuyikhala libekile, noma isithupha sibekile, noma wenze i-cross.
I'm not talking about the initials. I'm talking about the signature. What is important is to inform the court that the statement was never signed. There's no signature of the deponent here. In page 6.
Nee, daar's nie 'n wetlike vereiste dat hy sy volle handtekening moet gee op hierdie stadium daar nie. Hierso is en ek weet nie eens wie dit gedoen het nie. U wys vir my 'n bekentenis. Ek weet nie wie se bekentenis dit is nie. U wys vir my 'n bekentenis vrede regter met 'n duimafdruk. U is tevrede met daai duimafdruk. Maar u het 'n beswaar omdat 'n persoon nie in hierdie konfessie of bekentenis van my 'n volle handtekening gemaak het nie.
Yes, you are showing to me, firstly, there is no legal requirement for a person to do that. You are showing me here a statement where a person has put down a thumbprint and you are satisfied with that. On my side, a person initialed and you are not satisfied with that.
Thank
but
you.
are satisfied with the thumbprint.
Mits ek u verkeerd verstaan as jy dit net kan duidelik stel.
Maybe I misunderstood you, if you can just put it correctly or much clearer.
Can you interpret it, Mr.?
Sorry. Which part now?
All right, may I rephrase the questions? Let's just rephrase the question. My question, very simple. At the end of the statement, page 6, last page of the statement that you have taken, other than the alleged initials, there is no signature of the deponent. That's what I'm asking.
Daar is nie 'n volle handtekening van die deposant nie. U is heeltemal 100% reg.
You are 100% correct. There is no signature of the full signature of the deponent. Uqinisile ke ngokuthi ku page 6 kulesi sami ke statement ayikho ka noma akasayindile ngokugcwele.
May I have that statement, please? Thank you very much on that exercise.
Are you not handing out that document?
Sorry, ma'am.
Are you not handing out that document?
No, man.
What's the value then of that if the court can't even see it?
Somebody's coming to testify on that statement, man.
That's not the point. This is the witness who's being cross-examined on the two documents, that document. And I'm saying, are you not handing it up? That's all I want.
I'm sorry, my lord, the time annexures were handed to the court. It's one of the annexures. I just want to confirm because I was not present
Okay.
at that time. It's marked J. What? Is marked. H, my lord.
H8.
HH.
HH.
So it's just a pro forma, my lord, I beg your pardon, because the statement is part of the redacted parts. So may I reserve that for my argument in the event a statement will...
Reserve handing up the document.
It's just that your lordship will not have sight of the statement at
Yes,
the moment.
correct.
But if the court is inclined to look just at the back of the, just for the purpose of the exercise, to compare the last page of the statement attached under HH and the statement attached under JJ, only the last part of the statement, not on the contents of the...
I see a colleague there smiling. Mr. Mr. Mbaloi.
We are of the view that the entire document must be handed up.
No. Rather, let me withdraw that question.
And the document. Because
And
the
the
handing up
document.
of the document, sorry, sir.
And my lord,
The handing up of the document is predicated in support of your cross-examination of this witness, where you said he must compare, she must compare the two documents, that is Exhibit JJ,
and
as she explained it, and the facsimile, which you say she must compare her confession together with the attachments or the annexures to that very facsimile which you have handed over to her.
my lord, the issue is that a statement cannot, as per agreement, okay,
With whom? With whom?
between the parties,
Oh, the state.
yes, that it cannot be handed over prior to the ruling in terms
No,
of
I'm
the
aware of
admission.
that.
Yes.
But that's that statement, the one which you say belongs to some other person.
Yes.
Why can't this court have sight of it? Because you are using it for comparative reasons, are you not?
I am, my lord.
Yes, I'm aware. So you are saying you are withdrawing the question now.
Because when I'm consulting with my colleagues here, I was not part of what was discussed. But if they discourage me to hand over the last page, because I indicated that only the last page for the sake of comparison, because it consists of certain parts of the statement. So that is the fear that my colleagues have for the court to have sight of.
Yeah, this is a danger you undergo when you use a document which can only be disclosed to viewing after the court has, if it has, or if it does rule that that statement was made freely and voluntary, etc. You are the one who opens the can of worms.
No, it's fine.
And yet you, all of you refuse me to listen to an audio recording.
It's not
now
us.
You want me to view a statement.
My lord is the law, it's not us. May I withdraw this?
No,
as-
it's your choice.
May I would like to withdraw it, but that will be subject of my argument. May I withdraw the last part of my question in relation to the,
So the last part of your question is withdrawn.
on page 6 of the accused statement.
Okay.
But I'm happy that the witness has confirmed that there's no signature of There's no signature of the deponent.
But if you say you've withdrawn that last part of the question, then her answer also.
And the answer, not the
Consequential,
answer.
on your saying you're withdrawing it.
The
You're
comparison.
actually saying the court should not take that answer, which was elicited by your last question, by this witness.
May I
You're saying
clarify, my
basically that.
May I clarify this?
Okay.
I'm withdrawing the comparison of both statements, but I'm not withdrawing the question that there is no signature of the deponent on the statement she has made. That's what I'm withdrawing, the comparison of the statements, but not the answer she has already tendered before this court.
And you're saying you're not going to hand up that document.
The document will be handed over at a later stage.
Mr. Barry, what's your reaction? Oh.
Well, I suppose my colleague is in charge. If he withdraws the comparison, then it means his questions and answers are now off the record, pro non scripto basically.
Yes, Mr. Mngomezulu.
All right, ma'am, let me have that statement that I gave you, the last statement that I gave you, so that I can safely put it on record, that in that statement that you have, that you took from the deponent, there's no signature. That's the last question on the aspect of the signature. There's no signature. Can you confirm that there's no signature? It's only the initials.
Dit is net die initials soos wat u sê op die laaste bladsy en op elke bladsy soos wat dit verkeer tot en met daai waar hy sê dat the statement is now signed by the deponent by means of his signature, is die signature ten volle aangeteken.
Yes, there is no signature from that page, as you say, as well as the other pages, up until the page that the witness is now referring to, page 8. Is where it says now his signature is now on. Yebo kuyiqiniswa-ke ukuthi kuphela-ke initial ayibekile lapha akuna signature ku-page yokugcina-ke yestatimende uqhubeka-ke kodwa kuze kuyofika-ke ku-page 8 la khona-ke asesayinwe khona.
Sorry, you prefaced your answer by reading the notation. As you verstaan, is blood says daar's nie
Agbare, soos wat die verrigtinge plaasgevind het voor my, het al die verrigtinge eers plaasgevind. Dit sluit in die voorvereistes en toe die eedsverklaring. Waarna hy gevra is om dan sy volle handtekening te bring en elke bladsy te initial. Hierdie bladsy 8 het ek aanvanklik op hierdie verklaring wat ek oorhandig het heel agter gehad.
Right.
Dit is lyk my teruggeskuif na sy oorspronklike plek toe. So selfs die sertifikaat van die tolk was heel agter gesit.
Right.
So ja, ten opsigte van bladsy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 en 6 van die verklaring self van die voorval, van die beweerde voorval, is daar net initials.
That's it. Yeah.
Nie 'n volle handtekening nie.
And then on page 8.
En dan die ander ook net initials en dan die laaste bladsy wat ek beskou na aanleiding van die verrigtinge afgeloop het, 'n volle handtekening.
The last bladsy according to your
Volgens die verrigtinge wat plaasgevind het voor my.
What is the last page according to you?
Bladsy 8. Volgens die dokumente soos wat dit op die proformas gemerk was.
Bladsy 8.
Page 8 is
And you say there's a signature.
Dis 'n volle handtekening.
Which is preceded by what? Can you understand me? Did he sign because it says, having made the statement, that's what I understood you. Just put it on record, remember?
Dis korrek. Ek het na die tyd, toe alles afgeneem is, gesê, teken, volle handtekening. Hy het dit geteken, die volle handtekening, en ek het vir hom ook gevra om elke bladsy te initial, wat hy ook gedoen het.
After the completion of the proceedings, I then requested him to sign, which he did, and then requested him to initial each page, which he also did.
Okay.
So in page 8, I think it's referring to page 8 of the proforma.
Now, is it not of the statement?
The statement consists of 6 pages.
6 pages, yeah, okay.
The pro forma consists of 9 pages, if I'm not mistaken, or 8 pages, or if not 9.
Ja. Advokaat, die proses soos wat dit afgeloop het voor my, was nie dat daar gevra is teken enige iets.
Advocate, the process as it unfolded before me, it was not to the extent that you were just asked sign each and everything. Yeah.
Daar was met ander woorde nie gehandel met die voorvereistes en toeste handtekeninge aangebring nie.
For an example, it was not the prerequisites that were dealt with and then thereafter asking for signatures. Indlela ke okwenzeka ngayo kwakusi ukuthi uqala achazelweke ukuthi iform ihamba kanjani bese kuyacelwa ukuthi asayine, yeah.
Die voorvereistes is hanteer. Daarna het ons oorgegaan op die konfessie.
Okay, the prerequisites were handled or dealt with. Thereafter, we moved to the confession. Siqaleke ngalokhu okhona kwiform la ngaphambili sase siyandlulela kusona istatement.
En nadat die konfessie gemaak is, het hy sy volle handtekening aangebring. Dit is die handtekening op bladsy 8 en het hy elke bladsy geparafeer.
Now, after the completion of the confession, he was then requested to sign, that is now the signature which he brought on page 8. Thereafter, requested to initial each page. Celiweke uma sengabe seqediwe ukubhala sona istatement ukuthi asigned ila assigned khona ke ku page 8 wasecelwa ukuthi abeka ama initials kwi page nganye.
May I just put this version? The signature that appears on page 8 is in dispute.
Ek neem kennis.
The
I take note. Ngiyakuzwa ke uma uthi ke uyayiphikisa ke leya signature elapha ku page 8.
Accused left that office without appending a signature to any of the documents that were in front of him.
Ek gaan 'n retoriese vraag vra. Wie sou dan namens hom geteken het? Want ek sê vir u nou, hierdie man het geteken voor my, voor sy prokureur en voor die tolk.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question. Who would have then now signed in his space or in his place? Because this gentleman signed in the presence of his legal representative, in the presence of the interpreter. Uma kuukuthi uthike wahamba lapho engasayindanga, ubani kwasayinde endaweni yakhe, ngoba usayinde ummeli wakhe khona, utolika ekhona.
Die tolk sowel as hierdie prokureur kan daaroor getuig as u my woord in twyfel trek.
The interpreter, as well as this legal representative, can now attest to that if it is now that you are disputing that
Gesien in
which
die lig
I am
daarvan
saying.
dat die bandopname wat die prosedure volledig uiteensit nie toegelaat is vir redes op rekord nie.
Taking into account that the recording which now recorded the proceedings was not admitted in court or as part of evidence, lana ke uma kuukuthi ke lokho engikushoyo mina ke uyangabaza noma ke awukuthathi ke utolika nalo mmeli lo owayekhona usebengabizwa ke bazoqinisekisa ke lokhu mina ke engikushoyo.
Okay, may I just put this question? Before, can you please read, before the alleged signature, there's a sentence on page 8.
Is that part of the statement, sir?
The pro forma, my lord, sorry.
Oh, it's not the part of the statement.
pro forma.
The pro forma, okay.
On page 8.
Yeah, because I'm entitled legally to have
The
sight of the pro forma.
Thank you, my lord.
The statement is now signed by the department by means of his signature.
Istatement ke manje siyasayindwa ke lona ke bewenza istatement ngokuthi asayinde.
Hierdie bladsy is geteken na alles afgeloop is.
This page was signed after everything had been done. Die page
Toe
lena
het
ke-
hy
sorry.
volledig geteken, die tolk het volledig geteken en ek het volledig geteken en die tyd van completion van hierdie hele verrigting was 20 minute oor 5 die middag.
He signed in full, the interpreter signed in full, I then signed, and then the time of completion of these entire proceedings was 20 past 5. lana ke uyena ke owasayinda ke futhi ke idocument lena isayindwe emuva kokuthi konke sekwenziwe seqediwe
So
ke.
hierdie handtekeninge is nie afgeneem na completion van die verrigtinge van die proforma vorm nie. Dit is gedoen nadat die proforma vorm voltooi is tot in bladsy 7 en die konfessie afgeneem is en hy gevra is toe om te teken.
Now this signature which appears on page 8 was not appended after the completion of the proforma. It was after the proforma was done up to page, you said page 7, yes, and then the confession was taken down, and then it was only then after it had been completed when he now appended his signature on page 8. Ukusayinda ke kwakhe la ku page 8 akwenzekanga emuva kokuthi sesiqede isigaba sokuqala seform lokho kubizwa ukuthi iproforma iqediwe leyo sangena kwistatement emuva kwalokho ke yila khona ke asesayina khona.
All right. The signature of the attorney who was present, was it not necessary to be appended?
Ek het dit nie nodig geag dat die prokureur ook moes teken nie.
I didn't see the need or see it necessary for the lawyer to also sign. Angizange kuboneke kuyisidingo ukuthi ummeli naye asayine.
But if he signed, it was going to be much easier to see that he was present on that day. Do you agree?
Meneer, ek het
Sorry, ma'am. If he signed, if the attorney, as you say, he was present on that day, if he signed, that's just a general question.
Meneer,
If he
met alle
signed,
respek, al het hierdie man geteken, sou u nog steeds in lig van die omstandighede dit ontken het. Ek het hier opgeteken dat hierdie man teenwoordig was, meneer Njako, en u glo dit nie. Ek glo nie dat enige handtekening eers 'n verskil sou maak nie.
Even if he had signed, you would still, under the circumstances, you would still have disputed it, because I wrote here Mr. Dominic Mjiako, but still you are still not taking my word. So I don't see that any signature would have made a difference.
Sy Fidelity Fund sertifikaatnommer is hier neergeskryf en nog steeds aanvaar u dit nie, want dit is u opdrag. Ek respekteer die opdrag, maar die feit bly staan. As u wil voorgee dat enige verdere handtekeninge 'n verskil sou maak, dan is die antwoord nee, want u en die kliënt sou dit nie aanvaar het nie.
I respect the fact that it is your instruction, but I am saying to you that no any other signature would have made a difference here, because you and your clients would not have accepted that. Ukuthi ke umjiyako ngabe usayindile lana, angiboni ukuthi bekuzokwenza umehluko lokho, ngoba ke nansi ke nenamba yakhe ke ye-Fidelity Funds ibhaliwe lapha, kodwa ke naloko awukwamukeli ukuthi nokuthi ke yiloko okutshelwa umsola ngiyakuhlonipha ke, kodwa angiboni ukuthi nje isignature enye ibizokwenza umehluko kule document.
may I just put my version, the version of the accused? Because I can see that nothing on this pro forma that has been attached, that one may conclude that an attorney was present at the time of the. But let me just put the version of the accused. When he was brought to you, before he was brought to you, I know you were not present. It's going to be it's not going to be a fair question, because you were not present at that time when the alleged torture was occurred or was conducted on the accused. But my instruction before you descend on that box is to tell you that he was subjected to a severe assault, severe torture in 4 different places before he was brought to you to make such a confession. Can you comment on that?
Ja, advokaat, hierdie man het op verskeie kere of verskeie wyse vir my te kenne gegee dat hy nie aangerand was nie.
I advocate this gentleman made it known to me on several occasions, in several ways, that he was not assaulted. lo mlisa-ke wangitshela-ke amahlandla-ke nangey'ndlela-ke ithizeke ukuthi akakaze ashaywe.
Geen beserings is, dat ek net klaar praat. Geen beserings is genotuleer nie, waargeneem deur my nie. Toe ek vir hom gevra het hy enige beserings, kan hy dit uitwys, is geen beserings deur hom aan my uitgewys. Behalwe ou merke wat reeds gesond geword het ten opsigte van voorval wat hy opgedoen het met sy ouma toe hy 'n kind was.
No injuries were shown or pointed out to me or were visible to me. Even when I had asked him about those or such injuries, he referred me or pointed or mentioned to me old wounds or injuries that occurred or was as a result of an incident between himself and his grandmother when he was still very young. Akukho ukulimala awangibonisa kona noma awakusho kumina futhi ke nokulimala angitshengisa kona noma akhuluma ngako ila athi walimala khona esemncane kakhulu ke kwisehlakalo esasihlanganisa yena ke nogogo wakhe.
Daar was geen rede hoekom hy dit nie vir my kon rapporteer nie. Daar was geen rede as hy nog beserings gehad het wat veroorsaak was deur aanranding deur die polisie of deur enige iemand aan my kon uitwys nie.
There was no reason that he preferred to me or that he should not have appointed or shown me or told me about those injuries or injuries that he had at the stage or that were caused by police on him. Sasingekho ke nesizathu esasingambangela noma esasimbangela ukuthi angangitshengisi noma angangitsheli ke ngokulimala owayenako okwabangelwa ke noma amaphoyisa.
En in lig daarvan dat u sê hy op 3 of 4 geleenthede soos wat u dit noem en ek hul aan severely assaulted was, vind ek dit baie vreemd dat hy dit nie vir my sou noem ten minste nie.
I find it very strange what you just mentioned now that as you said that on 3 or 4 different occasions that he would at least not have mentioned it to me. Kuyangimangaza-ke ukuthi nanjengoba usho ukuthi lo mlisa-ke washaywa-ke amahlandla ahlukile amathathu noma amahlandla amane ukuthi nje akakaze nje angitshele ngalokho.
All right. And you'll agree with me that you can dispute that, is fine. I'm just putting the version of the accused. Whether you believe it or not, it's fine. But what would be your take? You are handcuffed, and as per your words in that pro forma, you said the police were heavily armed. Psychologically, did not that have manipulated his mental ability? I know you are not a doctor, but psychologically, on the observation, here are the police heavily armed.
Meneer, ek gaan nie so antwoord. Is reg, ek is nie 'n mediese praktisyn of 'n sielkundige om te weet wat die sielkundige uitwerking het op 'n persoon wat daar staan met boeye aan nie. Maar hierdie man het glad nie voorgekom as iemand wat vreesagtig is.
Sir, you are right that I am not a medical practitioner and I also don't know as to what the psychological effect thereof would be. But this gentleman, as he was there, he didn't appear as someone who was fearful.
Hy het kalm voorgekom.
He appeared calm.
Hy was baie rustig geweest, hy het baie rustig gepraat met my.
He was very relaxed and he was even relaxed when he spoke to me.
Hy was begeerig om te praat.
He really wanted to talk.
Hy het selfs die boeye aan sy hande was los. Dit het geklink soos 'n vrou wat los bangles dra. Dit was los om sy gewrigte.
Even the handcuffs were loose. They sounded like a lady who was having bangles around because they were loose in his arms.
Toe ek met hom gepraat het en vir hom gevra het, hoe gaan dit? In die begin, toe hy daar in die kantoor ingekom het hy my, ek het hom gegroet, hy het my teruggegroet, ek het hom gevra hoe gaan dit, hy het vir my gesê dit gaan baie goed, dankie, hy het inteendeel vir my teruggevra, hoe gaan dit met my? En ek het gesê, goed,
As-
so hierdie man het nie voorgekom. Soos enige persoon wat vreesagtig was, bang was, beangs was, aangerand was, niks nie.
And as I entered there, I greeted him, I asked him how he was, he responded to me, and he even asked me back as to how I was. And as this gentleman was there, never appeared to be someone who was fearful, someone who was anxious. Lo muntu ke noma ke umlisa lona ke kwakungasiyena ke umuntu owayesaba ebonakala noma ebukeka ke umuntu osabayo, kwakubonakala ukuthi umuntu onesifiso noma ofunayo ukuthi akhulume nabo ke ozankosi laba befakwe ezandleni zakhe ke babe ngaboshiwe babe loose la kuyena ke uze wenza isibonelelo wathi kwakuwathi umuntu wesimame ofake ama bangles a loose la kuyena ke ezandleni zakhe. Ngambulisa noma ke ngambingelela uma ngena ngambuza ukuthi ukahle yini, wangiphendula naye futhi wangibingelela wangibuza ukuthi ngikahle yini.
Inteendeel, die enigste antwoord wat hy vir my gegee het, het julle by ooreenkoms uitgehaal uit die vereistes uit. En dit was glad nie 'n refleksie op die polisie gewees
And there is
of
only
iets wat hulle sou doen nie.
And there is one thing that he told me, but it is one of those redacted versions, one of those that you redacted, and it was never anything that pointed to the police. Sorry? Or what they did. Kunye nje kodwa ke awangitshela kona ke kodwa ke ngeshwa kuyingxenye yalokhu ke enithi ke niyacela ukuthi angafundwa ke noma ke nikusulileke la ku statement ke kodwa lokho kwakungasiyona nje inkomba kumaphoyisa noma lokho abakwenza.
Okay. I hear what you are saying. On all what you are saying, these police officers which you took, I think one of them you said is Lisareng, something like that. According to my instruction, is that all that was happening there, it happened in the presence of the police. I think 2 or 3 police that were there. It is Mkhano and other 2 Metro Police officers. Do you dispute that?
As u sê all that was happening there, kan u net
Taking the confession, completing the pro forma, not the assault.
Ekskuus, kan ek net weer duidelikheid kry oor die vraag? All that was happening there took place in the presence of the people that you quoted.
In room 2.
Is dit nou is die bewering hulle was in die kantoor gewees toe hierdie verrigtinge plaasvind?
Is the allegation that they were in the office when these proceedings were underway?
Ekskuus, ek verstaan nie die stelling nie. Ek wil net
The
duidelikheid.
I just
instruction,
want clarity, I don't understand.
the instruction is that when you took or when you conducted this interview, it was conducted in the presence of the police, including Mr. Mkhano. My question is, do you dispute that? Because other police officers were roaming around outside the office in the passage, as per your evidence.
Ontken ek daai bewering. Die kliënt weet dat die enigste tyd wat meneer Liesering en Jonathan in die kantoor was reg aan die begin gewees toe hulle aanstellingssertifikaat afskrifte vir my gegee het.
Okay, dankie. Advocate, I absolutely deny that instruction from your client. Your client knows very well that that is not true. The only time that Mr. Liesering as well as Jonathan were in the office, it was right at the beginning when they came to give me their appointment certificates. Uyazi-ke nalo nomele ukuthi akulona-ke iqiniso ukuthi ngale nkathi kwenzeka konke lokhu ngithatha istatement ngikhuluma naye kwakude amaphoyisa phakathi. Phela kwesikhathi la khona uLiesering kanye noJonathan babe phakathi kwakungesikhathi babeletheke ama-documents abo-ke la kwakufanele ukuthi ngiwahlanganise khona la.
Sergeant Mngomezulu het sy aanstellingssertifikaat vir my gegee en om sy naam en goed vir my gegee nadat die deposant sy volle naam en van gegee het met sy identiteitsnommer. waarna hy uit is uit die kantoor uit.
And then Sergeant Mngomezulu then gave me his particulars or his name and surname as well as certificate. It was after the deponent had given me his particulars, his name and surname, his date of birth, and thereafter he was out of the office.
En daarna het die kwessie ten opsigte van die prokureur ter sprake gekom. Die deposant het die prokureur uitgewys, dis sy prokureur, gesê die prokureur moet homself voorstel, prokureur het dit gedoen ensovoorts en die verrigting het 'n aanvang geneem. Nie enige van hierdie twee persone wie se aanstellingssertifikate hier aan is of hierdie sergeant Mngomezulu was in daai kantoor gewees.
And then the question of the legal
Daarna.
representative or the attorney then came up. That's when the deponent introduced or pointed out the gentleman as being his